All right, I'm done here. And basically, I like that. I like this type of detailing here. So I'm going to keep that. And now we have just to find something in here. So just a second. So something in here. So for the detail in here, I just want to use some stains here. To achieve that, we have to go to our gold damage. And with our gold damage, we can just select here the black mask, go to this alphas here. And in here we can just select some stains we want to use. So let's see what we can use here. So just for explanation, maybe, I think this here, you don't have it. It's from another project I'm working on, but you can basically use whatever you want. So I'm going to do this quick in another way. I'm going just to duplicate this here. I'm going to call this stains. So we are going to use specially only that. And basically I'm going to clear the mask here on the second one. And then we have to select that, and now we can just put it in here. So I'm going to put one here, and one here. So I've done this because I just want to delete in here the gold pattern, so you can just delete that by simply drag and drop that down. So we have it only on this side here. Yeah, it's looking cool. But as I said, I don't think you have this, so we can just use another thing. But basically, it's every time the same thing we have to do here. So I'm going to quick clear the mask, so it's a little bit quicker. And now let's see what we can use here. Maybe we can use this flower, so we can put one right up here. Oops. Obviously we have to go to the paint layer, and now I can just select that and put it in here as a flower. If you want to, you can put other flowers in here just to keep that, but I don't want that really. So I just asked ChatGPT to generate me a picture with some rune stuff, and the picture he just generated is this here. So I just for explanation, to import that you have to go to File, Import Resources, then you have to choose your file, go to Open, and under here go to Alpha, and then import that, and then you can use it. I'm going to try to use that. So for now, we have to select that. We have to go to projection, and with that, maybe let's see if we can just do that. First of all, I have just to select here my basic heart. Then we have to go to projection, and with the projection, you can go to your alpha. And under the black mask, under grayscale, you can just drag and drop it in here, and you have it. So let's see, we are going, so maybe I can just do a thing like that. Or let's see, we are going to use, now it's difficult. We're going to use all the stuff in here. So like that. Then I'm just going to paint it in here. Yeah, it's looking already cool, so you can just keep that. You see we've just painted outside, so you can resolve that by simply go back to this basic heart, go to this rubber, and then you can just erase that. So that's one way to do that. The other way is before you're going to bake that, before you're going to just paint it in here, I'm going back to this projection. So the other way is before you're going to paint it, make sure you're on alignment UV. Then you can just paint that on this UV island. So like that. Good. Here we have just to delete a little bit of that part. So just erase that, and we are good. All right, it's looking cool. Another thing I just want to change here is a little bit here the gold things. So we have just to see which area is just affecting this, and I think it's the smooth edges here. So this curvature. That's looking a little bit better. Alright, the last thing I just want to do here is adding some dirt on all of our objects. So add a fill layer on top of all. I'm going to call this dirt. Add a black mask on that. With our black mask on this dirt layer, just go to this smart mask and type in here dirt. And then with drag and drop, you can just drag it in the black mask. And we have a little bit of a dirt layer on top, but we have to resolve here this problem with the tree planar. So texture 1, deactivate tree planar, texture 2, same thing. And now we can just adjust it a little bit. So it's a little bit too much. So I go down with the balance. So I just want it a little bit sharper, but that's looking good. So yeah, that's looking fine. We have just to change here the color. So I just want slightly black color here. So you see the difference if I'm just deactivating that. We have a little bit here on a dirt on it and in here too. Let's see if we just can adjust it a little bit more. So I just go up with the color so we see what's doing. Go back to our mask editor here, and I'm going down to ambient occlusion, and with that you can just adjust it if you just want it a little bit more on the sides here, and obviously the curvature too. Alright, I think I'm going to keep that like that, so go down with the color, and just for visualization, without and with. It's looking a little bit better. Alright, so the last thing I just want to change is here this bolts. I would just want to make it black, so I'm going to add here a layer called maybe bold, a paint layer called bold, and we have just to go down with the color, so activate the color, to black, and I just want the height activated, so it's popping a little bit more. We can just make it black, so maybe a little bit too black. Oh, and we have to activate the metallic and the roughness and the normal, so we are going to activate all. Let's see, this one is looking a little bit better. Yeah, it's looking good. So I'm just putting that on these dots. So we have to do it on the back side too, because I don't think we are going to mirror that. I'm not completely sure. But down here we have to do it again. And the thing is, if it's not popping enough, you can just go down here to this height, go up with the height, and it's going out a little bit more. And that's it. I'm finished with the model. So basically the thing we have just to do is now to export that. So you can go to File, Export, Export Texture. Then you can go to Output Templates. You can select here PBR Metallic Roughness. Or if you're just working for Unreal Engine, what we should do is you can go to Unreal Engine 4 Packed. Then go back to Settings. Change the output directory. So in here, texture, output template, or here you can just put Unreal Engine 2, Unreal Engine 4 packed. And file type, go to PNG. Size, I just want it 4K. You can do it for 2K if you want to, it's totally up to you. And then go to export. So after the export, you see it here, export successfully finished. You can go to Unreal Engine. So in Unreal, you already see my last project. It's the sword I just have made earlier. So if you just want to make this too, you can just follow my tutorial on YouTube. And basically I'm just going to duplicate this box here So we can just put it on a separate box. So then we have just to do a little bit of things here. So first of all, under FBX, we have just to add a new folder. I'm going to call this X. Under material, we have just to add another folder called X, and under texture, we have to do the same thing. FBX, X, and in here, right click, import game custom asset, just select the low one. And in this FBX import options, first of all, we don't want to have a material, so under material import method, go to do not create material, and basically that's it, just import all. So we have it inside, and now we can just take that, make it obviously a little bit bigger, smaller, because it's way too big. So I'm just doing that in this way. So we can keep it maybe like that. I'm going to rotate that. Oops, I just want it incremented. Right, this should be fine. So let's go to materials. In X, we have just to create a new material. I'm going to call this m_x. And now we have just to import our textures. So go back to texture X. Go to basically in here, just drag and drop your files. So we should have 3 files here. So these 3 files, so the albedo, the normal, and this here are the roughness, metallic, and occlusion in one. So go back to material X, open up the m_material, and in here just drag and drop your 3 files. So now it's very important that you do one thing. So basically 2 things. First of all, just make the right order here, so this should be fine. On top we have our albedo, our color, so RGB into base color. This texture here is the normal map, so go RGB into normal. And on this here, where we have just the 3 layer, the 3 maps combined into one, we have to do the red channel into ambient occlusion, the blue channel into metallic, and the green channel into roughness. So it should be fine. If it's too shiny, we can just do another thing, but for now I'm just keeping it in this way. Save that. So we can close it, and now we have just to apply it on this model. So go back to FBX, X, and open that up. And in here, it's a little bit too big, so maybe we have just to make it a little bit smaller. But for that, we have just to go to material slots, type in here m_x, and just apply that. So we have applied it. So we have applied that now, just save that, and you have your X here. So the thing is, we are missing one side. We are just going to do that quick. But I'm just looking for some arrows. Down here we have the arrow that this texture is going inside of that. I don't want that, so we have just resolved that quick. And that's it. So first of all, go back to Substance Painter, and in here go to the gold damage stains. So we have just to delete this here. So you can just find it in the right side. So one thing is here, so just go to the rubber and erase that quick. And the other thing should be, let me see, should be around here somewhere. Ah, it's here. So just erase that. So done this. Save that and export it another time. Now we have to go back to Blender, and in Blender the simple thing we have to do is just to go to the edit mode. Basically we have just to select this here and put it in the right place. So if we're going to rotate that, you see we're just flipped, so you can always just press SY01. So we're going just to flip that, and now we have just to rotate it in the right way. You can orientate it on this point, you can just put it in here, but I think we should be straight enough for that. It doesn't matter if it's just a little bit off, and obviously we have just to scale it in the right way, so it should be fine. Alright, this should be fine. So delete this side. So just select this side here, make a known separation of it. Now we can just add a mirror modifier on that. So go to generate mirror modifier, apply the mirror modifier on that. Now we can just select both, join them, and you have it right in here. So export that again as the low one. And now we can go back to Unreal Engine, right click on that, re-import. And the second thing we have to do is just to go to the texture, X, select all, and re-import that too. So I'm seeing some sea fighting here. Maybe I just mixed up the export. So I go back to Blender, export it again. I don't select the select object, obviously. And the rest should be fine. Export it again, and now we have just to import that here another time. So that was a fault of me, so just re-import it again, and it's good to go. So I think we have a little bit too much of metallic going on here. So here's a lot of metallic going on. So maybe we have to go down a little bit more with the roughness. So let's see. If we just go into Material X, open it up. So as I mentioned, maybe it's a little bit too much metallic here. So go into like that. Or let's see if we just can find another angle here. So maybe like that. So to adjust a little bit more the metallic, so just press the 1 button on the keyboard and the left mouse button to activate a constant here. So I'm going to type here 0.5 for now, and with that we're going into metallic. Save that, and now we have here the changes. Okay, the changes wasn't that what I want, so it's changing up here. So if I just go to 1, you see it's doing some sort of different things. So I go back with that to metallic. So let's try our roughness here. Now a value of 1 is too rough, so just go down to 0.5. And now we are getting where I just want. Let's try 0.3. Yeah, 0.3 is looking better. Or maybe 0.4. Nah, 0.3 is good. Alright, done this. I think we are ready. We are finished. So here is the final X. Good. As I mentioned, if you want to, you can just to hear this word, then you can do the X, whatever you want to. Alright, that's it guys. If you just like this type of tutorials, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, you know the drill, and we see us in the next one.